So it's still warm. I'm gonna go. I'm wearing orange because it's US season. Nobody's been back here though. I found some monster rubs back here 3 years ago, and I put a lot of time into this area. Didn't get a picture of anything huge. Got a picture of a lot of wolves. So I kind of abandoned it. But I have tonight to hunt, so I'm gonna go give this a crank. It's a really cool area. It's a swamp system. There's little fingers come out of each swamp, and they meet on a ridge top kind of, or a little knoll. It's almost like an island. And there was a bunch of rub and rut out there. I hunted it a couple times. I saw a timber wolf twice. I saw a doe and a fawn. But I kind of forgot about this spot. But I have tonight to hunt, so I'm gonna go give it a crank and see if there's anything here. We have an east wind, and it's perfect for this. If not, I'm gonna find some. If I find some rut, I gotta get some dirt from my other bucks 15 miles away to do the scrape game with them. So that's the plan. And if there's nothing back here, I wish I had one more hour, but I don't. So I'm gonna haul back quick. If there's good sign, I'm gonna set up in my saddle. If there's not, I'm gonna grab some dirt, head a couple miles over there, haul back to the Jeep, and I'll be late getting back there. But I hit that swamp and kind of do an observation sit. And I want to make a mock scrape back there and throw a camera on it, so I can check later. Might be after rifle, or I don't know, about a time. But that's a place, that 11 from back there, I really want to see what he is this year. So I gotta get going. Alright, so I made it back here. That is the swamp. One of them. And the deer would cross in here. And when there was deer in here before, I mean, I'm seeing tracks. Quite a bit of tracks. 0 rubs. And last time I was here, there was rut everywhere on this it's an old logging road through the woods with a bunch of trees on it. But the deer use it. And there was rut everywhere in here. This tree for sure. I mean, this thing's bent over. If there's a bunch of bucks in here, there should be rut under here for sure. There's not, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. The one bad thing is, if there's a big boy here with no competition, which is possible, they don't leave any sign. Not hardly anything. I mean, a little bit, but competition makes it. And if there's a big one here without any little ones, there could be a monster here not making any sign. But this doesn't look good. I got time to get over there. I'll be set up at 5:30. I like to be set up by 5, but I really want to get that mock scrape done and check that cam, so we're going to go for that. Okay, so I did a card pull on the way back into this swamp. I wanted to put that mock scrape. This is a really good location, but it takes years to figure this stuff out. And I did a card pull and I got a 145-inch 10, something like that, 140. He's big, big, big. So I'm gonna go set up on the edge of this swamp and see if I can kind of observation sit in somewhere. I'm just gonna get in. The wind is perfect. I'm gonna get in maybe 60 yards, and it's 400 yards across. So I got binoculars long, and I'm gonna watch it, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna sneak over to where they cross through the end of it, and I'm gonna put a mock scrape in another camera. I brought an extra. And then I'm gonna have to come in here in a week and see if he's sitting one of these. That's a deer. That's a head mounter. He's big. So it's so funny how things change. This deer wasn't here all year. October 15th comes. I think he was here on the 18th. They just show up. There's does. So we're gonna give it a shot. Hopefully the next video is him out in that swamp, heading my way. Alright, so I tried to sneak in here and hunt. The tree I thought I would work in that corner didn't work. a giant mock scrape. I'm gonna hang a camera here, and I'll come back and check this when I hunt it in 10-12 days. This is the island in the middle of that swamp. I had a picture of that monster 10 up there a half mile, but he was swinging the swamp, and he might do that during rut. So if I kicked him off this, so be it. This is not ideal, but I'm thinking for next year and the year after. So maybe I burnt this, but I had no good place to hunt, so I got a tree marked on Onyx, and I can hunt this island. I'll come in here and hunt it, maybe after rifle, maybe right before, or if I get a buck down, I'll come in here and video and just see. But I want to get intel and see how they use this, when they use this. This should be a hot spot. This year I probably will strike out here, but I might kill the 10 up there. I mean, I know they're swinging that side. So, yeah, you gotta be thinking years ahead on this stuff. Maybe November 1st and 2nd and 3rd this year, there's 15 bucks come through here. Then I know next year. Then I prep a stand over here, get access. Because when you don't have that, like today, I get in here and I bust it too bad. And I just prep for next year. I go home, eat ice cream cones, get up early and go do it again. So you gotta be thinking years ahead, man. Alright, so it's October 24th. Something like that, yeah, the 24th. I'm heading into that high wind stand. We're gonna see if anything shows. I gotta grab my stand anyway. I left it. I found another big buck a couple days ago, so I have another one to hunt. He's really big, so it kind of changed my game plan. I've got 5 that I want to shoot that I put on the wall now. So, but we're gonna give this a crack tonight. It's really windy, but it's supposed to die some if it does. It's been in the 70s. It's now 41. And temps dropping yet, so hopefully it's a good sit. There's a big one here too, so we'll see what we can do. Alright, so that was a decent sit. I had a fork go by at about 10 or 12 yards. So I learned a few things, like it's kind of the tree I needed to be in to shoot up there because it's so thick. But I'm gonna get made. If that was that big 9 that I'm hunting here, he would have made me. The girls put on a good show for us. But I left this stand here for like a week, and so I've been saddle hunting a lot. And I hauled that stand out tonight. So this is my 4th year being really mobile, and I see way more deer, like 5 times as many. because they never know where I am. I left this one here because we had a big one crossing there last year quite a bit. But hauling that standout tonight, I think I'm a full convert to the saddle. It is so much easier to carry, and I can get up so much quieter. I'm not putting metal sticks on a metal stand. I've got it all taped, silenced up. It's bullshit, man. It just, no offense to any of them companies, but the saddle game, I got to get a little more comfortable with it. But good Lord, for running and gunning, I think it's the way to go. The other good thing, that really big buck that I had pictures of a couple days ago, I put a mock scrape there. It was supposed to rain last night, so I busted in there. I think I mentioned that earlier. I busted in there yesterday because it was going to rain last night. So he's a really big buck, and I decided I'm going to bust in there, find a stand, clear a spot, put a cell cam in there, and make a mock scrape, and hope it rains. Because if it doesn't, I put too much scent in there, and I probably blew it out for at least 3 weeks. But what do I got to lose? If I don't have a place to hunt, if I haven't located a good tree, I did spring scout it, but if I didn't locate a good tree, I certainly wouldn't have a shot at that buck. And he's a big boy. And I don't have any history with him, which is kind of another thing that makes me a little leery, although maybe he's really dumb, which isn't likely. But anyway, so I did that, and we got rain. So I'm like, sweet. And then I had a decent buck on my cell cam tonight, and he was hitting my mock scrape. He was digging, and he was rubbing his face in the licking branch. So hopefully they take it over and it gets hammering, and I can go in there, because that's a good spot. My axis is a 7 out of 10, which I like a 9 out of 10, but it's what I got to work with. So solid night. I'm happy. I have the next 3 days off, so I am going to be getting after it. Anyway, yeah. Here we go. There's 2 weeks. If I don't have one down in the next 2 weeks, then it gets really tough. So this is the opportunity, and we are now in the fun part, and I just saw a buck 20 minutes ago, so we're good. Peanut butter sandwich. Peanut butter and wild grape jelly. It's hella good. I'm gonna check this out. I got a tacked cam, but it didn't have the mount. So that's a Matthews stabilizer and hockey tape. You can find hockey tape on a lot of my shed. Anyway, last year was on a big ass 11 here, and I never saw him. Got pictures of him every week or two, but lead season he got really patternable. He was here all the time. But I had one picture of him in August, and he looks about the same. He's a big 11, but I don't think he put on anything. I mean, he's got one weird tall tine. One's taller than the rest. So I was hunting it this morning, and with a west wind, I thought it'd be good, but this great big hill, wind comes over, and I'm too low, and it swirls like crazy. So I sat for about an hour, thinking it would calm down, and it didn't. So I decided to get the hell out of there. So I went and I have 3 cameras here. The first one had 2 does on it in 3 weeks. The second one had a rutted up little buck, but nothing big, and a couple does. And it had an archery hunter too, in full Sitka gear. This is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm surprised to see somebody archery hunting here. But he can have it. That buck's not here. I checked all 3 cards. He's not here. So I don't know if those guys are pressuring it. And there is an Oak Ridge half mile to the east here. I know they're feeding there. I drove my wheeler through there a week and a half ago, and they were feeding it. So I think I'll hike over there and see what I see for sign. It's early. This is a good movement day, but this wasn't going to work, and there ain't shit here. Or the wolves kicked him out, but I know it's just a lot more deer. I shouldn't be burning this day on this, but but I thought I'd give him a shot because it's a west wind, and I don't really have west. I have stands for everything but west, it seems. I gotta get on that. My buddy texted me this morning. We had scouted and found a spot that's really good, and last year there was a couple bucks in there, but nothing huge. And this year he's got one that I would definitely shoot. Probably two I would definitely shoot, but one is a pig. So he stayed out of there for the last 6 weeks or so. And I told him the first good morning, you gotta get in there, and he had today off, and today is the first, I'd say, 7 out of 10 day. And he messages me this morning that we had a tree prepped and cleared, and last year we were about 60 yards too far to the east, and he was seeing the bucks, but he couldn't get shots at them. So we prepped a tree, and Onyx mapped it, marked it, and this morning he messages me, and he said, I set up in the wrong tree. I don't really have service here, but I did get a text out to him, I think. I just wrote on there, move now. Oh, all that work and time, and then for it to get light and you're in the wrong damn tree. Oh, that made me feel a little better about the wind sucking this morning here. But I'll find one. This is the worst setup I've had so far this year. I thought it was solid. It's terrible. Terrible. Okay. So I hiked down looking for deer sign. I had another camera actually. I pulled it because it didn't have a deer on it in 3 weeks. It's just not here, and people are hunting it. So I have a camera, I don't know, 5 miles from here. I'm gonna go check that because I'm curious as hell what's on it. It was a really big 8, but I think we'd leave and go till next year anyway. But I'm gonna check that quick. Take a 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk, and then bounce into an area. West wind should be fine for there. I have 0 big bucks on that camera. There's a lot of sign from last year. Just had does and fawns all summer. So I'm gonna go hunt that. Well, the camera is 20 yards from the stand, or the tree that I've chose. So I'm gonna pull that card. And if there's a big one in there, I'm gonna hunt it all afternoon. If there's not, I'm gonna grab my stuff and haul ass another quite a ways. But I should be able to be set up by 1. I know where there's a big buck in a different spot. I have 5 places prepped for him. I hunted the one last night, but I'm sure he knows I'm hunting him. I was hunting him last year too, but I'm gonna start on the bottom of his territory and just keep working my way through it until I push him into different bedding areas, get a crack at him, or kick his ass out of there. I'm gonna kick him or kill him. That's what we always say about elk. When we find a bull, we're gonna kick him or kill him. We're not gonna sneak around and let him stay there. So, starting to snow a little bit. I should be in a stand right now. Midday movement today is gonna be crazy, I think. 6 a.m. the deer are feeding like nuts. They'll lay up, but afternoon should be really good. So hopefully there's a big one on that card. And then I'm set, and I have good access to that too. So, and it's thick, but. It's about 3 in the afternoon. It's 3:30, October 25th. place I thought was very likely to have a slammer. Does and fawns, man. Does and fawns. So I'm back on the downhill 12. He's a 9 this year. The bed I found this spring, which I think is his bed, is 238 yards from here. We have a west wind. I'm ordered to be set up a couple hundred yards to the south here. That's where they were coming out of this stuff last year, I thought. But there wasn't much sign. But on this corner, they're coming out like crazy. So I set up. About 10 minutes and I saw a doe. Wasn't kicked, she was just feeding about 120 yards from me. It was probably like a 1 in 8 chance that I see that buck tonight. Conditions should be good, but I got a little warm. It's a long hike. So I'm getting cooled off, so I might not last. I might be back in my recliner watching Seinfeld and eating ice cream cones before you know it. There's no rut and rub here, but with low deer density, these big bucks, I don't think they have competition. They don't leave much sign at all. So you gotta kind of depend on cameras. I'm tired. See what happened. I didn't get video of that doe. When I saw her, it would have been good video, but then she got behind stuff and I was waiting for her to come out. She kind of fed off the other way, so it happens. All right, so it's November 11th. As you can see, Seinfeld's on, because that's all I have at the moment. So as you watch the progression of, if you watched all the videos through, you can see in this one, things are really ramping up. Like I'm scrambling to, on the good days, I'm scrambling to hunt the locations where I know I have a big one. I'm trying to jump to cards and check things and make sure if one of my hammers did show up that wasn't there previously, that he would be in the rotation. The things are amping up like that 2 weeks, the last week in October, first week in November. I'm scrambling to hunt on the prime days. I need good locations. I need, I'm finding as many bucks as I can and I'm bouncing between them. Because if I burn one, if I hunt him once, twice, 3 times and I don't get him, he probably knows I'm after him and I got to leave him alone for 3 weeks. So I need multiple bucks and I just bounce. And it seems to work okay. So yeah, that was kind of a funny progression because you can see I'm starting to scramble. Like I'm hiking fast and I'm getting nervous. But yeah. Check out, if you haven't watched all the videos, watch them from the beginning and see, because I'm pretty lax at the beginning, and then here I'm getting to be like, okay, we got to get going, and watch the next video because I do get one down. So yeah, I'm grateful it worked out. Yeah, you never know, it's time in the woods, but definitely the more boots on the ground you have, if you put in enough work, you can do this and be pretty successful. But there's some luck involved, and but you can definitely put the odds in your favor. So yeah, check out the next one. But if you haven't watched, like the beginning, I'm hunting edges, I'm doing observation sits, I'm not pushing any envelopes, I'm getting practice in. Like I'm trying. The name of the game is self-control. Like if you know where the big one is, if you're after him all season, you're going to burn him and you'll never kill him. So you got to wait till the time is right. But yeah, it's been fun anyway.